Joe Kernan in for Larry Legend, Larry Kudlow. Syndicated radio talk show host, another legend, Hugh Hewitt, is with me for the entire hour. I read this. I want to see it actually come right. I want to see it live. Senator John Kerry raged against naysayers of global warming today on the Senate floor, claiming there is, in his words, a calculated campaign of disinformation on climate change that is stalling action on the issue. Here it is.
What if the naysayers are in fact wrong, as all the science says they are? What if, because of their ignorance, we fail to take the action that we should? What is the worst then? The worst then is sheer, utter disaster for the planet and for all who inhabit it.
There was more, and I've seen it done before, but every recent event over the past 5 years, whether it's in Pakistan or wildfires or a lack of snow, too much snow, all of it being attributed to global warming. Sheer utter disaster. So is this something that we could see in our lifetimes destroy the planet, or is it hyped? Here to discuss it, Rael Isaac, author of Roosters of the Apocalypse, How the Junk Science of Global Warming Nearly Bankrupted the Western World, and Dan Weiss, a senior fellow and the director of climate strategy at the Center for American Progress, joining us from D.C. Rael, one of the reasons I requested that you join us tonight was the great piece you wrote in the Wall Street Journal, simply outlining what trying to just preliminarily tackle global warming in Europe, what that has done to GDP, and if you were really to tackle what is necessary, what it would do to growth in Europe, much less the lesser developed countries. What would it do?
Well, it's having a very serious effect on Europe right now. And to just take one example, fuel poverty. It's become a major problem both in England, where 7% of households now are estimated to be fuel poor. It's the biggest worry of families, more than their mortgage, more than their jobs, is how to pay for energy. And the same thing in Germany, where there is Germany has made a $100 billion investment in
the better pay out.
In photovoltaics.
How much more expensive is electricity in Spain?
Well, Spain, the Spanish government discovered that even compared to the rest of Europe, where energy is very expensive, it was 17% more expensive, and so they couldn't compete.
Where every day we talk about the Hispanic, because there's their 10-year notes or 10-year bonds are above.
And that's also
7%.
the place where Obama keeps holding up as an example.
Right. Dan, the one thing that gets me, and I just don't think that, you know, whether it's here or there, to tie every single thing that has happened in climate around the world to climate change is disingenuous, and it doesn't help your cause, and that's what we're seeing in the last couple of years.
Well, first of all, that's just silly.
Why
Second
is that?
of all, excuse me, second of all, just in the last couple of days, just two random newspapers. The San Francisco Chronicle reported on Saturday that there's going to be an increase in West Nile virus in California. Why? Because of the extremely warm winter. And in yesterday's Washington Post, they talked about the community of Norfolk, Virginia, where dozens of people in their homes are going to have to move.
This is North America. This is North America. In North Korea, there are portions of the world that had much colder than average.
In
fact,
can't
look out the window and
North America the Northern Hemisphere just had the second warmest
in 150
May on
years on a planet 5 billion years old. We've had 0.8 of a degree Kelvin increase in 150 years. You have scientists, Nobel laureates, that have resigned from the American Physical Society because it's not a settled science yet.
Listen to me, Hugh. 98% of the scientists who do. Let me finish. You talked, I talked.
Go ahead.
98, the National Academy of Sciences, the most prestigious science institution in the world, did a report that found 98% of the peer-reviewed literature all pointed in one direction, which is that global warming is real and that's caused by human beings.
Hey, Dan,
now,
it's Hugh.
98
I got a
doctors
question.
tell me I need a life-saving procedure, and 2 tell me I don't. I'm going to go with the 98.
Hey, Dan, I got a question. It's Hugh. You're very sparky tonight, but here's my big question. John Kerry's your problem. Nobody believes him. Nobody believes a lot of this stuff. stuff because of ClimateGate. Now we've got ClimateGate 2.0. You know the EPA's cross-state air pollution rule has been put on hold by the D.C. Circuit. You know that the EPA lost a 9-0 ruling because they were abusive about the sackets. You know that they boneheaded mood on fracking again and again. Nobody believes you people anymore. And John Kerry stands up, reports for duty, and they just laugh. They just laughed at this West Nile virus. So I'm going back to California. I have to be worried about West Nile virus? That's just silly.
Absolutely you do, because
I'm sure.
warmer weather breeds more
sleep.
mosquitoes. Mosquitoes carry West Nile virus. And you know what? A dozen years ago, we didn't have West Nile virus in the United States. Now we do. That's exactly what scientists predicted. 98 scientists tell you you need a life-saving procedure. 2 say don't worry about it. I'm going with the 98.
To get China, to even think about China and India getting on board with this, much less us and the rest of Europe, you know, it just...
Look, China's actually adopting, gets 11% of their energy now from non-fossil fuel.
Do you think we're going to slow the growth of carbon emissions over the next 10 years significantly?
We can if we invest in it.
Do you think we will?
Look at Germany. Germany had the lowest unemployment in the last 20 years because of their investments in solar and wind energy, according to Bloomberg Businessweek.
Dan,
those are facts, not what you've heard from the other side.
All right. We appreciate your time today, Dan.
Thank you.
We settled this. No, not really, Rael. We'll have to talk some more. Up next, thank you. I appreciate you coming in. Up next, markets hate uncertainty. So do investors. Unfortunately, it's a fact of life right now. There's a lot of it